I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your Raw review for July 22nd, 2013 from Austin, Texas. You gotta represent Austin, Texas, and keeping it weird. I've been to Austin, Texas several times. It's a very weird place. I mean, it's like Texas's own little slice of California. You walk through the streets and it's just bizarro land, unlike other towns like San Antonio, Dallas, Waco, all that other stuff. I mean, you got all these vegan places. It's just a very bizarre place. All right there, but a very good show nonetheless, with all these crazy people. I mean, they were going crazy in this crowd the wrestling fans were representing, chanting, going crazy for this night, which was actually a very good night, so I see why they were so hyped, why they were so excited, and why they were going so crazy during the match. Now, you see Crystal's not here. I'm up in my man cave. I got a aesthetically unpleasing background. I can't help it, because she's in there asleep. You see, she was doing her jiu-jitsu, and it was really intense. She's completely knocked out, so let's not wake her up. So please be quiet during this video. I would much appreciate that. Now we kick off with a drum roll, and it's Brad Maddox. And I just instantly laughed at this, because it was so ridiculous, but I liked it. You know, I wasn't happy that Brad Maddox became the general manager. I wasn't, because I didn't think that he would be entertaining, but you know what? I thought that this was actually entertaining, and I was afraid that Vicky Guerrero wasn't going to do anything. I didn't watch SmackDown, but from all the video packages they played about SmackDown, it appears that she's going to be the general manager of SmackDown. So it's like, nothing changed really. I mean, really, so I'm kind of like, well, that was kind of anticlimactic just a little bit, but Brad Maddox, during this segment, he was gold, I thought. I mean, for a guy who doesn't really get his thing or his appeal at the moment, doesn't find him entertaining in this GM role yet so far, tonight, he kind of did it for me. You see, he said that he was going to be the sheriff of Raw, and I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Get the people of Austin to hate you. Stone Cold Steve Austin is not that far away, and you're talking about being the sheriff of Raw? You're going to get some boos. And he absolutely did. And they're going to have this contract signing. You got John Cena, the champion. He's coming out. He's going to have his contract signing with Daniel Bryan. They're supposed to be having a match at SummerSlam, right? And they still got that aluminum table. So, unlike other contract signings of the past, we're not going to see no tables getting broken. And if they do, it's probably going to hurt. Because aluminum doesn't exactly break in half so easily, does it? I don't think it does. Alright, so he's talking about why Daniel Bryan, and he's like, oh, I picked Daniel Bryan, you know, I listen to WWE audience, some people might think that he's too small, or whatever, and they were talking about, you know, oh, don't you think you need somebody bigger and stronger and faster and taller and bigger, and talking about trolls and whatnot, and I was like, you know, it's kind of weird. John Cena is supposed to be, well, at least to the, you know, the 18 to 25-year-old males, he's pretty much supposed to be not liked by them, or WWE at least realizes that, right? And they capitalize on the fact that they know that, you know, the older males or whatever aren't really huge fans of him. And they, you know, they kind of throw these jokes out there and have him say things that irritate these people. And it is actually quite funny, right? But in this segment, he was like saying all the things that all the internet fans, or whatever you want to call them, you know, pretty much everybody, says about Daniel Bryan. We like him. We don't really care about, you know, whatever. We're big fans of him. We want him in this match because he's over like crazy. And we want him in the main event because we feel that he deserves to be there and everything, right? Because he's just so awesome. Okay, and John Cena's like putting this over, and I'm just like, well, this is kind of weird. Because he's putting it over. And are we supposed to like him? Or is he being, like, sarcastic in it? And we were supposed to be like, well, we know he really doesn't think that, so we're going to hate him. That's what I thought. But later in the night, Triple H did the same thing, but he's actually supposed to be a good guy to everyone. So that doesn't work together, but I'll get to that in a little bit. And, you know, Cena sees the talent. He wants to have the match. He realizes if WWE just went by who's big, then I would just put the title right onto the Great Khali. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Saying stuff like that, trying to pull our heartstrings, and kind of bizarre, but maybe we're just supposed to think he's being sarcastic or whatever. But Daniel Bryan comes out, and he doesn't really get a word in edgewise, which I thought was actually pretty entertaining. Maddox is interrupting and everything, and tonight Daniel Bryan will have a match. He will not only have one match, he will have several matches, talking about Gauntlet style. And when they said several matches, I was like, well, I mean, if it's a Gauntlet match, I mean, theoretically, he could lose in the first match and then there's no Gauntlet match. So I guess we automatically know that there's going to be more than one match, but it's not like that took away from anything. It just popped in my head for whatever reason. So the segment ends abruptly. The Raw music just starts playing, and I was like, wow, I bet the people in the audience were confused. I mean, it just was like, boom, it's over. And it seemed like there should have been a closing line or something, but the segment was just done. And I was like, okay, well, still, I really like the segment. I usually hate contract signings, but this one overall, I thought was entertaining, alright? So we got Sheamus versus Del Rio. Sheamus is all bruised up, I guess from Money in the Bank or whatever. And Del Rio wins. And I was like, okay. And yes, Teddy Long and Booker T are backstage. And I guess they were upset at the fact that they weren't appointed the GM of SmackDown. I was vacuuming the floor at this point, so I didn't really hear what they were saying. But Teddy Long got upset, and he said that he's out of there. And I was like, so he's done? I don't know. I totally missed that part. Now, Christian is going to have a match. Christian's going to have a match against Titus O'Neil. And I was like, alright now, I like Titus, I like the primetime players, I wish there was a tag match, but if we have to be throwing a one-on-one match with these guys, Titus O'Neil's the guy. So I'm okay with that. What's funny, though, is in the middle of the match they put one of those ads at the bottom of the screen, and it said Doritos Jacked. And all I could see in the ring was Titus O'Neil. And he is also jacked. And that just made me laugh for the weirdest reason. But it happened. It happened. And Christian's getting totally decimated during this match, but somehow, out of nowhere, he just keeps fighting back. And he hits that unprettier, which I think is called the kill switch, but I guess I just can't get past it. To me, it's the unprettier, and it'll always be that. I just can't call it the kill switch. It just doesn't fit to me. It just sounds like that band, Kill Switch Engage, and I don't want to call it that. So I guess I'll just be stuck in the past with that one. I just can't help it. There was a big boot in this match that looked absolutely devastating, and I thought that was crazy. But Christian, he hits that move, and he goes on and wins the match. Ryback cuts a promo talking about how people are not, they're all average, and he doesn't like average. I know a lot of people hate his promos, but I actually am entertained by them, and I have no problem with them. I mean, I don't think he's a top-level talent right now. They've obviously proved that with their booking of him and the way he's gotten beat and stuff. But, I mean, I think his promos are effective. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm the only one. Well, effective in the way that, they say what they say in a way. I don't mean effective as it made him a huge heel, because obviously that didn't work. But just see what I'm saying. Alright, Mark Henry. He comes out there, and I guess he's a face now. I don't really get that, but okay. And he's calling out the Shield, which I'm all about. He's going to take them all on. So he starts taking them all on, but then he starts getting beat down. And then the Usos help him. And I'm like, the Usos helping Mark Henry? Well, that's not what I would have thought, but I guess you got 3 guys. You got to have 3 more guys take them on. SummerSlam match, I can smell you a mile away. Now we got Cena, Daniel Bryan. They do some kind of backstage segment that I didn't pay attention to. Now Dolph Ziggler comes out. I was like, alright, Dolph Ziggler. The crowd is just like chanting his name, and they're going wild for him because Dolph Ziggler is awesome. I don't have his poster back here, obviously, but you could just imagine it saying show off right there, right? And he's taking on Darren Young. And I'm like, I thought the primetime players were... If you're going to have both guys wrestle, why are they going to be in 2 separate matches? They're a tag team. They come out as a tag team. So they're going to come out and they're going to... That makes no sense. Oh yeah, by the way, Titus O'Neil, during his match, he was beating down Christian, and he kept blowing the whistle. And I was like, that is funny. I like that. That's why I love you, Titus O'Neil. But now, Darren Young, has a match. I think Dolph Ziggler wins. I hardly even remember. but I like the match, nevertheless, even though I didn't circle the winner. Now we have the absolute lowest of the night, Miz TV. Not only is it just Miz TV, it's Total Divas. You got Jerry the King Lawler coming out there, and he's gonna like interview him or something. And even Jerry the King Lawler didn't want to come out. He loves the Divas. He wanted nothing to do with this. He comes out and he's like, "Hey, Eva Marie, what's your name?" And she's like, "I don't like the way you are looking at me. Slap." And she has the fakest slap. I mean, I was literally waiting for Brad Maddox to say, "Cut. Reshoot that." Because that was unbelievably terrible. But anyways, that's that. It was the end, thank God. It ended so shortly. Apparently one of the Bella twins had a nipple slip, which was weird because they were all sitting in chairs and the only thing they did literally was clap. I don't know what they were clapping at, but apparently it made her boobage come out, which is just bizarre. How could that possibly happen? But whatever. And oh yeah, The Miz is going to be the host of SummerSlam. If you didn't think that the guy was 6 feet under, well, what do you think now? I mean, that's just terrible. He has literally went back to when he was the host of SmackDown. I mean, right? He has fallen oh so far. Alright, so this is the part we got Triple H and Brad Maddox talking, and Triple H is trying to sound like a good guy and saying all the things that the internet fans like to hear, you know what I mean? And it was just like, no, Triple H, you are not likable. And you just put Cassius Ohno on the back burner. And you're going to try to prove to us that you, of all people, speak for us and you feel the way we feel? I mean, really? Is there anybody worse for the job? I mean, just good God. I like Triple H. But why put him in places like that? Makes no sense. Cody Rhodes versus Fandango. Cody Rhodes wins. Glad to see Cody Rhodes in a match. And Damian Sandow with the Money in the Bank briefcase on commentary. All about that. I am completely cold on Fandango right now. I just don't see where he's going to go or what he can do with his gimmick. I don't know. I hate to be the guy hating on him, but I don't see the vision of the future with him. You know what I mean? It's like what he's doing now is what he did, and probably what he's going to do in the future with a shorter entrance. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Paul Heyman, CM Punk. Paul Heyman is on the Titantron, and he talks about how the Texans, how low they are. They had a really good segment, gotta admit. It was good stuff. I liked what Punk was saying. He's going to be the underdog. And see, this is the thing about Punk and his match with Brock Lesnar. The only way I can see this match going is Punk winning, which I think is unbelievable. I think that Punk is not believable in the ring with Brock Lesnar. I haven't seen him ever do a match, but I'm just using my head and my eyeballs to make this assumption. However, I see how much CM Punk is getting kicked down right now by Heyman and by the segment they had last week with Brock Lesnar. And I see how he's going to overcome in the match like Hulk Hogan. He's going to Hulk up. Well, not so much. But he's going to get beat and beat and beat. You're not going to think he's going to win. He's just going to get pummeled. And somehow, he's going to come back. And he's going to win. And, that's great for the fans and everything. I just don't think it's believable. But I do like their segments. I think that their segments are solid. Or at least Punk's. He's really the only one talking here. And Heyman, you just can't beat him on the microphone. So I say thumbs up to that. RVD beats Wade Barrett. I say thumbs up to that. So glad to see RVD every week. I know there's actually some haters on Rob Van Dam, which I don't really understand, and I really don't even want to waste any time talking about that, because Rob Van Dam is awesome. And you just can't hate on the man. You're incorrect if you hate on the man. You're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But I just got other things to talk about. My battery's dying, so. Daniel Bryan, he's got a gauntlet match. And he first takes on, I can't remember if he took on Jack Swagger or not. I took out the trash. I was doing a lot of house cleaning, if you can tell. Crystal was asleep, so I mean, usually we do stuff together. She was asleep, so I was just taking out the trash because Teddy kept trying to eat pieces of steak out of the trash can and knocking the trash can over. I know this is a lot of information, but I want it to make sense. Anyways, talking about this match. Antonio Cesaro, they have an entirely long match. Everyone was marking out on Twitter and Facebook about, oh, remember this Ring of Honor match? And I'm like, yes, I do remember the Ring of Honor of old. But those days are gone. And no, those guys are in the WWE. And they had an awesome match. The crowd was going crazy. They were chanting. They were just flipping their lids. And I was getting so excited because the match was great. See, Daniel Bryan main eventing Raw. That is just awesome. Because see, you know, Daniel Bryan is legit. Daniel Bryan has that charisma to get all them people behind him. Just amazing, right? I wouldn't have believed it, 3 years ago. I was a doubter. I was. You've seen it. If you've seen my videos like back then, I just didn't see it. But he proved me wrong. And he beats them after a long time. They had an uppercut that was devastating, a clothesline to Bryan that turned him inside out, but he won. I thought my camera cut off, that's why I paused. And Ryback was the next one to fight. Ryback came out, he was picked by Brad Maddox, and they fought, and then a table got brought out and the disqualification. Cena comes out and tries to help, and he's like, well, you know what? Since you like tables so much, I'm going to have a tables match with you, Ryback. Or wait, when did he say he was going to have that match? I don't even remember. But he wants a match to be a tables match. I'm trying to think what, when, and where, but it's completely over my head. It's okay. McMahon and Brad Maddox close out the very end of the show backstage, and talking about how, like, Brad Maddox, he's going to have, he's like proud of himself, but McMahon is like, look, Maddox, Bryan needs a match, and he makes the match, and the match is going to be Bryan versus Kane coming up, and I was like, okay, that sounds good, I like that. So Brad Maddox, he did good tonight, he entertained me, and I think he did pretty well, so I mean, he might win me over. I guess I was completely wrong, but I know what I wasn't wrong about, his NXT commentary. Because that sucks. It's terrible, man. How can you like that? I just don't understand. Can you please tell me how his commentary on NXT is good? I just don't understand. I just don't get it. But anyways, that was Raw. I liked it a lot. It was from Austin, Texas, so thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I can't wait for SummerSlam. I expect it to be very good, but my battery is completely wasted on this thing. So, okay guys, I liked Raw. I will see you guys later. I am very tired. I'm just rambling. It's all good. See you guys. Oh crap, knocked my water over. Very soon.